Welcome back, everyone, to week 6, my strategy part 2. So I'm just going to be, I'll go over my trades I took from last week, and then I'll be covering some other concepts that I didn't go over that can help you. So we're going to be looking at NQ again. NQ is the only thing I trade. We'll get right into it. So the first thing I want to go over, so it's the Power 3. So this is a trading concept about, this is like how the market moves, right? So it goes through 3 phases. It goes through accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. So that's how the market's always moving. So we can look, I'll show you what I mean. So you'll have right here, you draw it out, right here in this area you'll have a lot of accumulation, right? It's all just together, moving slow, choppy market, right? Then you'll have a manipulation, you move up to the upside, and then a bigger move down, sweeping the level of liquidity that was previously here, creating distribution down. So that's how the market tends to move, and that's what I try and look for. I try to find accumulation, look for the manipulation, and then trade the distribution. I mean, here you can see a little bit of accumulation. That's not as good of an example. Let me. Here's Friday. Friday we had a good example of this. We had a lot of accumulation. We had a manipulation. First a little manipulation up. We didn't sweep the liquidity levels, so I didn't trade that, but then we had a bigger manipulation down. You'll often see the manipulation be a big, quick move, and then distribution back up. So that's something to just look out for. You never want to trade accumulation because it's so choppy. Manipulation, it's hard to trade because you don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but the distribution, that's ideally where you want to be trying to trade. That's what I try to trade. So those are something you can look out for. The Power 3, it's a big concept. But now I'll go over the trades I took and explain. So last week I only took 2 trades, one on Monday and one on Friday. So I don't trade every day. I just look for perfect setups, good setups, and I'll go over them. We'll start with Monday. I'll go over each day and show you why I did not trade or what I did trade. Alright, so I'm going to go every day and then what I was looking for. So starting with Monday, what I do, turn on the sessions indicator. Mark the highs and lows of London and Asian. So we had a low, I guess, you can put it here. We'll put it right here though. And the high was right up here. Okay, let me turn that off. Now I'll go on the 1 hour time frame and see what we have. So what are we looking at? So we're sweeping highs, the highs liquidity. You can mark out level liquidity right up there. If we sweep that, even more confirmation. There's a fair value gap right in here. So look to hold that. We held it once. There's another layer of liquidity right here. You can mark that out. We swept that too. It's even more confirmation. So based off of this, what I'm going to be looking for is shorts, so going down. So we'll go back on the 5-minute time frame. Then we'll see what the market does. We get an initial push up. Still above the liquidity, so still looking for something short. I only play with my daily bias, so even if there's a fair value gap to the upside, I'm not gonna trade that because I'm only looking for shorts based off the daily bias. And we have a big push down here. We'll see what the next candle does. We have another candle, so after that candle closed, we have a fair value gap here. This could be a potential entry. We're going to look for something in this area. At 10, I think we have news, so you got to be careful of news. I always check Forex Factory. That's where I go for news. I keep the settings on over here for only red news, high impact. That's the only news that mattered. So back on Monday, we had news at 10, so I wanted to be careful of that, see what it does to the market. This was 9:45 news, but we created that fair value gap. This was the 10 o'clock news. I actually entered on this news. I saw us push up right above, and then we started falling down immediately. And I forget exactly what I entered on. 1 second. Let me save this real quick. I can. This is a practice chart. I have my real one here. This is what I actually trade on. So I entered right at 18,710. So if we go back here now, take us out of replay. So I entered on this news for a short position right at 18,710 right here. I saw it start to push back down off of the initial reaction of news. So I was looking for something short there. Actually, we'll move it up. There's 18,710. Right there. I put the stop loss above the fair value, the candle before the fair value gap high. And then what I'd be targeting, well, I'd be targeting the opposing liquidity level, so right there. And then pull this out. So we entered there. We had some profit. My first take profit. Where was I looking? I was looking at the below here. I trimmed a little bit as soon as we got the break right there on this candle right below this low. I took off a couple contracts to lock in some profit because you don't want to ever have a nice move down and then go back up and then lose it all. And I believe, yeah, I put after that, after I took off some contracts, I put my stop loss at break even. So if we came back up to where I entered, I'd be closed out. And you can see we came real close right here. It was like half a point away from being stopped out. Luckily, we didn't. And then you can see we kept going all the way to take profit down there. And so I only take like 2 trades a week. No, it doesn't. Not just 2. I mean, I try and trade every day, but I only look for very specific setups, but I don't need to trade a lot because if you look here, so we got in at 710, right? So here's 700, that's 10 points, 20 points, 30 points, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, basically 100 points, a little past 100 points in total for the entire move. And if you remember what I told you about the contract, the values, hold on 1 second, just wanted to pull it up to show you. See if I can find it. So for NQ here, every 1 point is equal to $20. So every 10 points you move, right? If you buy 1 mini, every 10 points you move is equal to $200. So on this play here, even though it might not look like a huge, crazy move, that's 100 points. And if you had 1 mini, that would be equivalent to $2,000. Because after you move the first 50 points, that would equal 1,000. And then the other 50 points, 1,000, and so that's a $2,000 play right there if you had 1 mini, which is still a relatively small contract sizing. Like I know people who trade with like 20 minis, so I'm not sure if they are catching 100 points because that is a lot of points in a big move. But as you can see, right, like if you just had 1 mini and you made that move and made $2,000, like you could be done for a week. $2,000 is great. That's more than what you need for 1 week. You could call it a week after a trade like that. So that's why I don't try and trade every day. I only look for best setups. But as you can see, if you even held this, I believe we went down like the rest of the day. I don't know why you would hold that. You could have actually, because playing with the same daily bias, still wanting to see something down, you could have marked out this fair value gap right here. As you can see, came right up into it again and continued downward. So that was amazing trade Monday and put us up nice to start off the week. Then we'll go to Tuesday. Let me clear this stuff out of here. Yeah, so I didn't take another trade until Friday, but I'll show you the other days and why I didn't trade. So here we are at Tuesday. Again, I do the same process every morning. Put on the sessions. We mark out the highs and the lows. Smell a little. So high right up here, the low right down here. So already we're trading right into market open. We're trading in this range. So that's already giving me a sign that, especially after the previous day, we had this big, remember the power 3, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. We had a big distribution here. So usually you like to see an accumulation day after that. And that's what we had. Let me turn this off. We'll go to the higher time frame and do the same thing. Honestly, I don't believe I could see much on the higher time frame. I mean, we had this big fair value gap right here, but unfortunately, since we didn't sweep any of the highs or lows into market open, you know, there's nothing really I could do with that. Liquidity there. Other than that, there wasn't really much going on, but this big zone too. So I'll just remove that, but you can see in the market open, we just kind of chopped around in here. Didn't break. And the only times I trade is from 9:30 to 11. 11 is when I call it quits. Usually dip by 10:30, actually, just the first hour, but you know, I'll sit and just watch the chart just in case. But I mean, you can see this is already, I mean, we're already past 11 o'clock here. It's already 11, it's already 12 o'clock, and you know, the market did absolutely nothing. There's no trades in here. Yeah, just nothing all day. I mean, we finally broke above here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I think we came back down then, but other than that, there was nothing. That's market close, so nothing you could trade on Tuesday. That's okay. You know, again, that's why I like to, you know, limit my trading and just take, you know, good setups when they're there, and run with those big winners. And we'll go into Wednesday. Didn't take a trade Wednesday either. We'll go over why I didn't though real quick. First, again, put on the sessions. Mark out the highs and the lows. Lows here, highs up here. So we already had a big push above, so I would have been looking for shorts. Turn this off real quick. Go into the higher time frame. We had a big move up. There wasn't a whole lot I was seeing on the higher time frame, I don't believe. There's some resting liquidity up here. I was looking for if there's any fair value gaps, but there was only the one down here. We already traded off on Monday. But we broke through that, so that one's invalid. Then I was looking up here in this range, but I couldn't really find any. There was a big one back here a while ago, but we already broke through, so that one's no longer invalid. There was this one up here. You could have used that one held previously. It's from a while back, but it's the only one. But so, you know, I would have been trying to play shorts here. But we'll go back on the timer frame. But from what I remember, so we had initial push down, nothing to trade yet, no fair value gaps. I think this was all news induced, but still very choppy. We had a big push up, formed a big fair value gap here, but this is a bullish fair value gap, and I want to see shorts in the higher time frame, so I can't trade that. We just had a big run up. And so, again, like, you know, I could have, if I was bullish on the day, I could have tried and traded this fair value gap that we formed right here. We could have entered here and went up. But again, I was feeling shorts on Wednesday, and so there was no trade opportunities, nothing I could take, and we ran up for most of the day. So unfortunately, my bias was incorrect, but again, you don't have to be correct every day. If you can just, if you can be consistent with your strategy and, when you enter and when you exit trades and what you're looking for, then you don't need to be right every day. Now, Thursday again, didn't take any trades, but we'll just go over why I didn't. So again, market highs and lows. Lows here, high was right here. So initially, you can see we didn't have a very big range here, but we swept both the highs and the lows. So that would ultimately make me a little unsure right off the start which direction we're going to be going. But we'll go to the higher time frames. Got to turn this off. So if you're looking on the higher time frame here, on Thursdays we broke all-time highs, so we have nothing. There's nothing's ever been up here. I mean, we have a little fair value gap here. That could be potential, but I mean, if you look on the hourly, we already, broke through that. So, other than that, I mean, we have resting liquidity that'll be right around this level. Other than that, there's not much at all. So let's see what happened. We had a big push down there. I think that was news at 9:45. Formed a fair value gap there. Then we pushed down even further. Big wicks there. Still nothing really you can trade here. Really choppy. We did wick in there. Came up in to 1020. Came down. Pushed back up. You could potentially trade this. I didn't want to, only because, we did break above, so, it would give me an initial thought that we might be seeing shorts breaking above the liquidity, but again, we broke the lower liquidity as well, so I didn't want to, and we broke the lower one more recent, so I didn't want to try and take shorts after most recently just breaking this in case we wanted to see higher. And I believe... I mean, it depends where you would have put your take profit and stop loss, but, you would have been, if you got in like down here, you would have been, I mean, losing a bit until we made that bigger push down, but by this point it's already 11:30 and I would have been done for the day, so, turned out to be a more choppy day, I believe. Yeah, so nothing that I saw on Thursday. But then Friday we had a nice trade as well, so I'll go over that right now. Alright, so when looking at Friday, here we are, mark out our highs and lows. We have a high right up here, we have a low right here. So you'll be looking at this and you'll see like, oh, we broke the top and bottom. However, this I don't really count, because this was news. If you can see like this huge candle, this was all news induced. So starting out just looking, we broke lower, so I want to see higher. Looking on the 1 hourly, we were pushing down, filling some fair value gaps here. That one holding us up. We had a bigger one here that would be holding us up. Liquidity here, which we swept, and then much more here, which we tapped into. So already I'm going to be looking for longs, so going up. So then we'll go onto the lower time frame. We'll see what we get. Nothing yet here. We have our first little fair value gap. Again, I'm looking for something going up, so this is a potential entry if we come back into this. And here we do. We start to wick up. I entered right here on this. Again, playing with my daily bias. I put my stop below the fair value gap. So it was a big stop loss here. I was targeting these highs right here. We chopped around a little bit, was in the negative just a tad. Then we finally got our bigger push up, smash, take profit there. So again, doesn't look like a huge trade, but from where I entered, rated around the 1931 mark, 31, 41, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So almost 70 points. I mean, we could play it safe and say 60. So if you just had one mini and you hit 60 points, that's $1,200 right there off of one trade. And I almost got 70. So if I was using just one mini, it would have been close to, we'll say, 1,350, somewhere around there. There'll be some small fees taken off the trading fees. But again, I only need, if you're trading with one mini and you took just those 2 trades in the week, you'd be up like $3,000 some dollars in 1 week, which is, an amazing week. How can you complain sitting in front of your computer for an hour a day and making a $3,000 day if you're trading one mini? Yeah, so you don't have to trade every day. I wouldn't recommend trading every day or trying to force trades because that could put more pressure on yourself, put more downside. Just look for those the safe trades when you see them. Here's the actual trade I took. I took off most here. I left one runner, and I think I exited the last one fully here because I was targeting, I think, this layer of liquidity right up here, believe. And then, you can see if you didn't catch the first time, the second time I wouldn't do it. It would be a little more risky, but again, it worked. Could have entered there, and it went even higher. So you could have targeted the very top of this candle if you wanted, and you would have hit take profit. But yeah, that was last week trading. 2 excellent trades, and the other 3 days, I always just sit and watch the market. But if there's nothing to trade, there's nothing to trade. Can't complain about that. So that's going to do it for today. Next week we're going to be going over trading psychology. There's a lot, because trading is more than anything a mental game. Controlling your emotions. Because when I first started, right, I wanted to trade every single day. I love the stock market. I love trading, right? This is what I do. It's my thing. But I used to try and trade every day. I used to, every tiny setup I see, just hop in. But that's where you really get hurt. You get burned because you're not going to win every trade, and especially when you're just going in, because you want to. You got to control your emotions. But we'll get into more of that stuff next week with psychology. If there's anything else, I think of relating to the strategy, any questions you guys have, let me know. I'll again maybe next week do a separate video recapping this week's trades. We'll see. But psychology next week. Hopefully you understand the strategy more. You can go back on your own if you want, after seeing what I took, and just go through the process yourself. Mark out your liquidity levels, mark out other key levels that you'd be looking for, then figure out if you'd be wanting to see the market go up or down on the day, and just seeing if your bias is correct, because it's the first step. Trying to identify which direction the market's going to be heading, and then marking out your power 3: accumulation, manipulation, distribution, because it's a very big concept in the market. It's how the market likes to move, make patterns, repeat itself. But yeah, that's all I got. Hopefully you understand the strategy a little bit more. It makes a little bit more sense. If there's any questions, let me know, either in person if you know me or in the comments. Doesn't matter. But good luck if anyone tries to trade this next upcoming week. Take care.